if you're scared and you're worried, think your vision's getting blurry. I just clear your mind, clear your mind, clear your mind.
Okay, let's get it going. Buen dia, mis cristales. I hope you're having an amazing day in existence. Yo, I'm so excited for today's reading. I want to say that the channeled message for today is adaptability. I don't have an entire phrase for you, but I'm being called to do a reading on adaptability. For those who do not know me, I am Kay. This is the Crystal CAY'S, and I am a psychic tarot. I'm a medium. I'm a shaman. I'm here to give you spiritual messages that I channel through divination. I am a divinator. Okay, and what that essentially means, for those who don't know, that just means that I use my spiritual gifts in order to let you know what you should know, messages of divine light, things that'll help you in your evolution, things that you should know so that you can get to your truest, authentic self in this human journey, in this life journey of the human experience. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop in. I do want to go ahead, do some pre-shuffles. I will ask archangels, ancestors, animal spirits, any beautiful spirits that are here to work with us in tandem of the highest light, okay, of the truest intent. Ooh, so this definitely relevant, definitely relevant. Some things are picking up pace and moving in for you, but we're going to toss that back into the deck. This is just a pre-shuffle. So, yes, I'm asking divine spirits, please do give us clear and concise messages, guided in truth. Let this message be carried in the highest of vibrations. No matter what comes out, let's just allow it to be authentic, and we'll go from there. Okay? With that being said, let's get right into it. What message do we have for the Divine Collective at this time, for those who this message was intended for? Okay. What I'm seeing here, excuse me, for you. So things are mellowing out, okay? It seems as though, for as turbulent as things may get, how turbulent things can be, you guys really do have... you have a new level of trust that you're stepping into. This is letting me know that you have, how do I say? Yeah, I'm getting like a sigh of, I wouldn't say a sigh of relief. I'm more so getting a sigh of over it. You know what I mean? Like you don't even want to go through something again, or you don't want to stay in a cycle that you experienced in the past, because you've been through it enough to the point where you're like, I'm over it. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to keep going into this pattern, so to speak, right? So what I see here is that you really do have everything you need. It's just allowing that to become clear in your own line of sight. Some of you, collective, you already understand this fully and you've accepted it. And others of you, I hear that you do understand it, but that doesn't mean you've understood it. And that doesn't mean that you've accepted it. I also heard interceptions. So maybe you guys are dealing with things that are feeling pesky, maybe getting in your way. Some things that are challenges, or, you know, just little things that are stumbling you. Or, yeah, okay. Well, that lets me know. I don't know why I'm laughing. I get the sense that this is you guys' energy, like, okay. So I just heard that some of you are going through situations where people are really trying you, but because you're being more, what's that word? You're just taking things a little slower. You're analyzing things a little more, and not from a perspective of overthinking, just, you know, just little things that are stumbling you. Or, you know, just little things that are challenges. Some things that are being honest with yourself about what you're recognizing. You're watching things occur around you and you're taking your time. What this is doing is this is making it difficult for people to get over on you. So when I said, okay, that was more so the energy of like, you tried it, but it didn't work. And it's making others feel weird. With demonically possessed coming out here, it's like you've got individuals who are not willing to release certain energies, certain vibrations, particularly low vibrations that would cause you or cause them, whoever is attached to these low vibrations, to be self-sabotaging, to disrespect your own temple, your own true authentic self, that kind of thing. And for individuals or entities that adhere to this, to adhere to these low vibrations, that are these low vibrations, whichever makes more sense for your situation, it still comes down to the fact that you are assessing this and you're recognizing this. And I'm not even saying you're giving it a huge bunch of thought, because I'm not getting that. But I'm getting that, like, when you notice these things, you just finesse away from it. Like, you make a concerted decision or concerted effort to not give into that, to not cave into that, to not let that type of thing latch onto you. Now, of course, you're allowing yourself to feel the ways you need to feel, but you're not rotting in low vibrations. You're not allowing these things to overwhelm you to the extent that you're not being successful. Okay, so that's really beautiful. I love that for you. Let's see. So once again, adaptability. With the channel message being adaptability, is showing me that no matter how rambunctious things are getting, you guys are allowing yourself to still slow it down. Okay, you're allowing yourself to be able to trust the steps you take. And if that means taking them slowly, you're going to do that. Okay, or perhaps you need to. All right, of course. So if you guys can see right here, we got demonically possessed, and then we also have peers, friends, and acquaintances. So that sounds pretty self-explanatory. There might be individuals or even groups. I wanted to say that are around you, but I'm not even getting that these peers, these people, these entities, or these groups, they're not even particularly around you. They're just connected to you somehow in your art field. Some of them are just, they don't want the best for you. They're not in the business of making sure that you're good. They may want something from you. They may have an attachment to you, a reason to stay stuck to you. I mean, hello, you're some excellent pillar for them. Some source of energy, even a source of hope, I heard, for some of you. Some of you show people things. You teach them things by action, by leading. You're a leader. Or you're shaping into one. You're being carved out of the stone into a beautiful statue, metaphorically speaking. Some of you may be in the gym. You feel me? Getting that body right. That's cool. I heard some of you are a lot stronger. A lot stronger. Like when I look here, I see someone who can allow themselves to be shrouded in metal and covered in all this armor, because you got to be strong to do that. You can't be weak. You can't be frail. And you definitely have to be focused with all of that on, and riding a horse. And I know this is very literal, but I feel like you guys see what I'm saying. It's just, you can bear a lot. The average person may not know how to function with all of this on, but still, and yet you see what you have to work with, and you're not rushing the process. Back to these individuals here. I heard someone is calling you sociopathic. They're saying you don't have any emotions, you don't have any feelings, you pretend. But that's not true. It's just you're not willing to entertain. Yeah. So I get the sense that maybe you guys overindulged in entertaining other people's nonsense, some very volatile and unstable emotions, or some not so stable decision making that others will do, and they find it turns out to be that it affects you because of how you've invested your energy into these people. You know how that goes with people who play victim, or people who essentially, just people that are in the business of using your energy however they need to access it. It looks a lot of ways for different people, but I know you know what I'm referring to, collective, so I'm not going to overtalk it. But yeah, let's see. Adaptability. What else about adaptability? Spirit guide. ¿Qué más, por favor? ¿Qué más, por favor? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pull one more tarot for this adaptability real quick. What is going on with the collective in terms of their adaptability at this time? Who do we have? Okay, one more, please. I don't think that's enough. Let's do one more. For adaptability, clarify the 8 of Cups reversed. Okay, judgment. Okay, so some of you may be receiving justice at this time. Thank goodness. I could already imagine you deserve it. You have a lot of weirdos, a lot of haters. And these are, I get the sense that these are subtle. These are individuals that shaved a little bit of your energy source off the top in the ways that they experienced you. Maybe they didn't do so good of a job replenishing it. And even if there was some level of mutual benefit between you and these other entities, it doesn't change the fact that if these entities are low vibrational, you absolutely have been called to take a step back, be observant, be slow moving, but intentional nonetheless, so that you can make sound decisions in every present moment as to what you should give your time and attention to. And that's key. I'm seeing a big thing about boundaries, but also expansion. So in terms of you guys adapting, you're being able to do both. You're being able to stand on what needs to be done and drawing a line and sticking to it where that makes sense in your life, but also understanding that everything is not just ruled by boundaries. Flexibility is a must too. Okay, I see that. Beautiful. So I get the sense that some of you were in a place of losing faith when things were getting really scary at one point. Maybe low finances, low, how do I put it? The ways in which you felt successful were starting to feel trivial because maybe you didn't have what you felt you would have needed to feel successful, okay? But that lack of faith, you're stepping away from it. You're holding on to the fact that you know in your soul, in your heart, that things are going to level out. That's what this is letting me know. This is also telling me that in terms of adaptability, you know that your decisions will be judged. Everyone's will. You know, it's not just you. It's not just this random concept of what you does come back around, what goes around comes around. But this is just you reminding yourself just naturally, just vicariously through the way you maneuver in your life. You're just realizing and recognizing time and time again in this time frame, or whenever you're reading this message, you know that you're able to realize, okay, I may not be where I want to be in terms of like making it to the end of your process, your evolutionary process of being everything you ever dreamed of. Maybe you're not exactly there in that moment right now, but you still understand that the steps you're taking are leading you there. And for that, you can stand on that with appreciation and fulfillment to a good degree, to a big degree, because you know that you're gonna get everything you put in. You get out what you put in. That's what I'm hearing. What goes around comes around. What you put out, you get in. Or what you put in, you get out. Excuse me. What you put out, you get in. That's interesting. So what that's letting me know too, there's certain of you in the collective that you... Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, guys. This is a very interesting topic. I do know how to explain it, but Spirit just asked me to leave it because the thought just flew out of my brain. So I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to the Spirit guides, and I'm not gonna force it. But I feel as though you understand. Let's get a Moonology card. Ooh. Okay, looking at the bigger picture, but let's go ahead and do another shuffle. Let's see, what does the moon want to tell us, especially considering the fact that we're in this full moon, or perhaps the full moon has just passed us. But no matter what time you guys are seeing this, this is a timeless reading, but at least in regards to the energy here, we have just experienced a full moon. So I'd like to see what the moon has to say about your adaptability. Please, please, please. Tell me, moon. Let me flip this card, guys. Gracias, la luna. Okay. So, very much so. So there's clearly and evidently, you all are in need of doing things that you don't usually do, stepping out of your comfort zone. This is in relation to your North Node. So what it's letting me know is that there's something with you that you you don't put yourself first when it comes to this thing. There's something within you that could be a character flaw. It could be a habit. It could be something like that, is what I'm sensing. A part of your personality, or your character rather, that you push off to the side because it feels exhaustive or frustrating or just tiring or annoying to give the energy to this thing about yourself to allow you to sharpen into the individual that you would need to be to access your North Node. And when I say North Node for the astrology lovers, this just means the life that you're meant to lead, the life that you're meant to step into, where you've learned all the lessons of the past that were prohibiting you from living your best life, from being your highest self. You have different things that you must do in order for everything to iron itself out. But the thing is, we've got full moon in Cancer. Okay, we've got a personal issue has reached a resolution. So what this is letting me know is that you do have to trust the process, and you have to be willing to release these ways that are hindering you. Holding on to something simply because you're lacking the faith and trust. You're lacking the faith in what is already happening, like in the spiritual, in those higher dimensions. These things are already culminating for you. But when it comes to your, your conscious self, if you are being worried, not willing to trust, not willing to have the faith in the faith in these things, but the trust in yourself, that's where these blockages really get you. So I want to ask, what is it that you need to step out of your comfort zone to do? Let me see what deck I'm called to use. I would like to use another. I want to use another tarot. And then I'll pull from another card. And I'll pull another card from a deck that I created. But it's not going to be this deck. So, let's see. What is it? Espíritu, dígame, por favor. ¿Qué es? ¿Cuál es? ¿Cuál es el mensaje? A clarificar esto. Okay. El cómodo de ustedes. Cómodo de ustedes, por favor. Okay. Let's see. Oh, all right. Okay. One more. Una más, por favor. Una más. Oh, all right. I already knew it. Okay, so we got the 7 and 8 of Pentacles, y'all. If I'm being honest, this... Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm getting myself together with this deck. But, yo, what this is showing me and telling me... I don't know. Some of y'all... Okay. I'm just saying it, because why not? Some of y'all are being low-key lazy. You need to be mindful of that. For those who aren't being lazy, kudos to you. That literally means that you're putting the work in and you're adapting to the rigor of the things that you're facing right now. There's a lot of tests going out. There's a lot of being tested by the universe or being challenged to see what you can handle, to see how you handle things, hence the judgment. And so for many of you, you've accepted that. You've accepted that you must put the work in, but how you work is being addressed. How you put in the work. So part of you, yeah, like parts of you want to reject, yeah, oh my goodness, interference, y'all. So part of you just is creating like this mental block. Like it's as if you overthink about what needs to be done. So for example, let's say you have a task. You have something you need to get done, but maybe you go back and forth with yourself about, do you even want to do it? What will the process look like while you're doing it? How are you going to feel when you do it? And is the outcome even going to be what you expect when you do it? So thinking about all these things, I get it. But your spirit team is asking you to cut some of that chatter down. That's where you're being called to step out of your comfort zone. Because if you allowed yourself to just do the thing you know you need to do, that your spirit is truly telling you needs to be accomplished, what you're intuitively guided to complete, so that you can bring in more abundances of higher vibration, so that you can gain the things that you are destined to inherit, right? So that you can reap the benefits of what you sow, reap what you sow. However, in these times, you're burning more energy if you're not being adaptable to what that should look like. So for instance, I'll explain about me. I'll tell you guys about me. So I recently started investing my time into different things. Like I do tarot readings, I divinate, I do spiritual things, for more than just personal. I do it for you guys. I do it for private sessions and whatnot. But then I've also started doing things in the finance industry. And I've also started doing things in my personal life. I have 3 beautiful bonus daughters. I don't use stepdaughters. I don't want to subscribe to that because they really are my babies. So me taking on more responsibility with my bonus daughters, with my girls, mis nenas. And then on top of that, I also do entertainment, of course. Excuse me, I had a little interference. But I do music. I do other things with voice acting. And I feel called to share this with you. And then on top of all of that, I also have writing projects. I'm an author. And I have my coloring book that you guys can purchase. Of course, the link is in the description. Got to do a little plug. But I'm doing all these things, right? And so because I do so much work that is based on having clients or based on networking and based on just being very flexible, being entrepreneurial, I've had to step out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways. And so what that has meant for me personally has been to not be so quick to let my feelings stop me from doing something that I know I need to do. And I'm also hearing just the reverse of that. Like there's these extremes, right? So if we consider that one extreme, the other extreme would be doing far too many things that you don't want to do. Excuse me, shaking the camera there. but doing things that you don't want to do, that you don't need to do, but you feel obligated to do them, and it's eating up your energy, and it's not being allocated to where would be most efficient or most productive for you to benefit from that in the best way in terms of your north node. I keep stumbling over my words. So there may be something going on with the throat chakra, but I honestly don't really feel like this is a throat chakra issue. I feel like this is more of a heart and third eye. Yeah, and we have a net here, guys. Oh no, we have a net trying to stay in on the conversation. Nets aren't really bad, but that is an omen. I get the sense that somebody here wants to study you, wants to learn from you, wants to make a new beginning based on you in some way, shape, or form, but they aren't really trying to be too obvious about it. They're not to the point of obsession, but they're to the point where they're keeping an eye on you and recognizing some changes in you. But I digress. So once again, when it comes to stepping out of your comfort zone, collective, just allow yourself to do that. And essentially, pardon my mouth, but don't bullshit yourself, okay? Like, don't bullshit. Like, just allow yourself to see what needs to be done, and having that adaptable nature to say, okay, I need to step into this version of myself quickly, swiftly, steadfast, in order for things to gain momentum, essentially, is what I'm hearing. Because you go from someone who may pay a little too much attention to the progress, to trying to figure out what the outcomes of things are due to the actions you take. But then you turn around and realize, okay, I've already been at this. I've shifted in perspective. I've changed from some of the headspaces I was in, and now it's just allowing me to move like a well-oiled machine. And not to mention, you just have so many more qualities that are blossoming out of you because of this change in direction. You're releasing blockages, and you're allowing yourself to do more with what you have because of this. I'm getting the sense that because of how you guys are taking on this energy of adaptability, you're allowing yourself to not burn energy senselessly in ways that you may not even recognize, in ways that if you hadn't made these changes, you wouldn't have really thought they were necessary, essentially. Unless that's not 100% what I mean. So what I'm trying to say, collective, is things that you once didn't realize about yourself because you were, far too preoccupied with getting yourself stronger, more focused, more this and that in the past, and elevating from lower vibrations, you would not have noticed just how much energy was being drained from you, or essentially leaking out of your flow, leaking out of your pipeline of free-flowing energy. Some of it just wasn't being recycled back to you in such a incremental but incredibly impactful way. However, we don't want to dwindle down in energy. We don't want to. I was called to flip this. So yeah, okay, beautiful. So this is exactly what it means. You guys are maneuvering because of the trust, because of things leveling out. You have definitely a deeper layer of confidence on you. I'm very excited about that. You guys really do have a stronger sense of self. You have an incredible work ethic that you're building at this time. Some of you maybe are a little past this energy and you're moving into the next phase of what this looks like for you. But for some of you, you're finding a way to be incredibly productive, to dual wield. And I don't personally believe in multitasking too much, because you can only divide your attention so much. That may be debatable. That could even be a unpopular opinion. But, you know, let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about that. What do y'all really feel about multitasking, especially as it relates to being adaptive? But what I would say, or what I started to say, the spirits are leading me to this idea that you just have a way of getting things done one thing at a time in such an efficient way that it seems like you're multitasking. It's seeming that way. And it may not be seeming that way to you. Maybe some of you in the collective, you may be able to identify with this and honor yourself for that. But for some of you, you feel like you're moving slower than molasses. You feel like you're moving, you know, with your feet dragging, but that's not really truly the case. That's not the reality of the situation, not in its entirety. What it is that because you're being methodical and you're being very deliberate with your decisions these days, and you're not really dancing around your responsibilities and what has to get done, it's allowing you to, in fact, get more accomplished, get more done. That's why you're so successful. That's why you're moving into higher levels of success. And it might feel weird. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that, like, you feel weird about it because you're like, I don't know, something just feels like it's not picking up enough. But you know in your heart that it is. And if you don't, I'm here to confirm that with you. Let me pull another card. I want to pull a card from this deck. Nope, Spirit told me to put that deck down. So I'm going to pull from this deck. And we're just going to get a final little message just to wrap things up. Okay. Bien, mi coleteo. I want to ask, Spirit, Espíritu, déjame por favor, en este momento, ¿qué más? ¿Qué más mensaje? Que lo tiene. Okay. So I've seen this card twice. It's definitely for you, guys. What is it that has you worrying so much? You don't have the upper hand? That's not how I see it. Somebody must be telling themselves they don't have the upper hand. That's bizarre. That's bizarre. Because I get the sense that you really do. Like, you have more of an upper hand than you think. Let's dig into that real quick. Yeah, so two things I'm channeling. I'm channeling dogs. I'm channeling cars that are having some kind of trouble starting or needing a little bit more juice, you know, revving the engine revving. I also heard car meets. I'm hearing that if you guys are having car troubles, they won't last, or they will be fixed as long as you take that initiative. I'm hearing that it will work out as long as you aren't lazy. So yeah, okay. Paradoxical between goddess energy. Okay, so I already felt it. So while you guys are giving yourself such a hard time, you know that you're a god. You know that you're a goddess. Like, let me read this for you, okay? Energy of a goddess. Exuding energy of the purest, highest power. This could be Christ consciousness. This could be the highest vibration, the vibration of truth, the vibration of authenticity, which is even possibly more powerful than the vibration of love. Refinement as the presence of self, fully and yet accessed exactly as it should be, and not in any unwarranted, unresponsible, or misdirected manner. Refinement as is the presence of self. So the real you. No faking, no flogging, no phony, no mirages, no dilly-dallying in energy that doesn't serve you per se. You know, meeting life with a matter-of-fact sort of energy. appreciation of the gifts of nature, and fully cognizant of the signs, messages, and consequences of the universe. So there's a deeper level of tapped in that you are becoming, tapped in with self, tapped in with the collective consciousness to an extent where you really are an incredible conduit of energy. You really are. But you're stuck when you tell yourselves you don't got it like that. Going back and forth with yourself. So the adaptability is coming in fact, when you tell yourself these self-limiting beliefs or you have a lack of certainty, this is showing me that you at least have enough adaptable nature in you at this time. The universe is supporting you with this at this time that you're seeing this message. Your spirit guides are supporting you as well. Your higher self supporting you as well. Individuals who resonate with you in their own authenticity supporting you as well. Respecting how you're moving as well. Then you are capable of shifting into this God or goddess energy, because you're like, you're respecting the fact that even though you feel these limiting ways, these blockages within you, you don't have to stay there. You know yourself well enough that you can make adjustments so that things make more sense for you. In a true way, not in a way that just comes off as you self-soothing or sulking or covering up what doesn't feel good, essentially. So with that being said, mis cristales, this is cool. I really am glad I could give you this message, because this is a good change. This is a big change, and it doesn't feel 100% easy. I'm even getting a little nauseous. My solar plexus is feeling a little bit on fire. So you guys may be feeling like your intuition is really active. Your solar plexus is really active. You're getting these confidences about yourself, or you're working on your confidence. You're working on the trust within yourself. But then it's getting to a point where you are trusting your intuition more because of this. You're allowing yourself to not deny what needs to be done, no matter what your emotions are telling you. And so now at this point, it's not that you're blowing your emotions off or treating them as something that is insignificant, or rather far too significant to make sense. But it's allowing you to really just, how do I put this? It's just allowing you to trust what your intuition is telling you and using your emotions in conjunction to that. So with that being said, mis cristales, we are going to wrap it up there. I'm going to see you in the next video. You know how it is. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.